All right, guys, so I wanted to have some fun with this video, and well, I figured we'll start off with a actually somewhat difficult pose. So we've got our Deluxe Mando with his jetpack, with the child, in a flight pose, and not the easiest thing to pull off. I gotta be 100% honest with you guys. Getting the child to actually, with some friction fit, to attach to the figure, it's been a little difficult, but I figured you guys would like it. One of the things I chose to do was to actually put the backpack on top of the cape. The magnets aren't super strong at that point, and it's a little finicky, and I can see right now as it's spinning around, it kind of came loose a little bit and went a little sideways, but you get the idea. So, but there we go. I've got the rockets going off on the backpack. I've got the Deluxe Beskar Mando looking freaking amazing, and there's the child right there, just being held on to as best I could. Honestly, it took a little minute to get that to go. I've got this right hand just kind of relaxed, going down by the side. I threw the cape pretty much over one shoulder the best I could, and then because I wanted it to not go over the dynamic stand, because it looked like he had a giant hump there and it just looked weird. So I played around with that a couple different ways, but just an idea. We're gonna do several of these, give you guys an idea. He is you know, a somewhat decent amount off the ground, and yeah, this is a good starter pose for us. We're going to continue on, have some fun with this thing, and see what else we can come up with. But yeah, hopefully this will give you some ideas, as a lot of the people in the States are now getting shipping notices on their Deluxe Mando, and we'll be looking for pose ideas, so hopefully this helps. All right, so I wanted to keep these poses pretty much limited to one or two figures, because I know a lot of you guys who bought this as your very first figure, and you may not have a large collection to do like scenes and, you know, that kind of stuff, interactions with other characters. But I know some of you guys have troopers and you like collecting troopers, and I thought this would be a fun one to do. It's actually quite simple, and I don't really think it matters which troopers you actually have. So I brought off some stuff from the collection display, and here we go. So I'll zoom this thing out. And here we go. We've got Mando ready to rescue the child. However, he is outnumbered. And they've got him 4-1. And honestly, they can have him like a lot more to 1. But I didn't feel like reposing all of the troopers. So I did break out a few troopers. Mando, this is simple. There's nothing crazy with this. Very simple pose. I literally just have him sitting on his knees. He's got that right hand kind of back ready to grab the blaster if he wants, or he might reach over and hit the whistling birds. And I did, for fun, went ahead and put the pram back there behind him in the background. The one thing I don't like about the pram is the base is, it looks weird when you don't have it attached to the actual base. But, you know, it is what it is. So there it is, guys. There is the Mando getting ready to tackle a whole pile of troopers. And we already know what's going to happen. Like, we already know what's about to happen. So if you're curious which troopers I'm using for this display, I have 2 Remnant troopers from the Mando. There's one. There's 2 Remnant troopers, and I have, this is actually Rogue One figures. Rogue One trooper, that's the Imperial officer. And then I've got TK14057 with that very telltale backpack. Looking cool. So not super difficult. Actually barely super easy, barely an inconvenience is what I was trying to say. And yeah, so there you go. We're gonna break out some more poses, have some fun with this thing. All right, guys, I don't know if this is posed, I don't know what order these things are in, but here's another pose. Guys, I wanted to have a museum pose for you guys, something that would be super easy for you to pull off and would be more like heroic, incorporating both the long rifle, the pistol, and the jetpack, because I think the jetpack is just a cool feature to have on here, and it's kind of a shame to not include it. And obviously we got Grogu down at the bottom. So this is a very simple pose. Got the right leg back a little bit, left leg's a little forward. We've got the cape swept to one side so we can actually see the jetpack in all its glory. And then I'm actually using the one of the open grasping hands, so the long rifle can just literally rest in there. And thankfully, it's got that weird shoulder stock, which actually fits perfect in that hand. It actually works pretty well right there. So it's just kind of, you guys can see it kind of floating around. It actually works pretty well. And then I've got Mando, and Mando looks great looking down, but I wanted to do something where he's kind of looking up into the sky, pondering where the heck his journey is going to take him next, and just having fun with it. So pretty stoked with this one. I think it's a simple one. You've got to have enough space, because obviously this is a tall pose. The rifle is huge, especially when you put it up in his hand like that. But I think it looks pretty good as it kind of rotate back around. One of the things I'm trying to maneuver is something simple for you guys, nothing super dynamic, but I also want it to look good on the shelf. If this was like the one guy you had in your collection, you want him to look epic and you want to be proud of it, and I think this is a pretty cool pose to show that. So there's old Grogu right there kind of chilling out. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good museum pose. Kind of happy with that one. So let's go ahead and move on to the next. So what would happen in a what-if scenario if Mando turned evil? And what if he took down the Galactic Empire and just destroyed everything, and then set up his own Mando Empire in the place of Emperor Palpatine? Well, it might look something like this. So yeah, come on now. What if Mando took, instead of we had Fett in the Book of Fett and the throne of Jabba, what if Mando was there? And I don't have Jabba's throne, but I do have the Emperor's throne, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to throw this out there and see what would happen. And I thought it'd be kind of fun. So it actually is not as easy as it may look, because to get Mando actually in a sitting pose, you gotta work that ab like a lot. You got to work that ab a lot. And the leg actually wasn't that big a deal. Getting that leg up on the knee, that wasn't that big a deal. I mean, you had to work it a little bit. But the ab crunch to actually get him to fit in there, because he is a little larger than the Emperor with the helmet on there. But I thought it turned out okay. And I thought it'd be kind of a fun pose to throw out there. So, I like to do what if scenarios in the displays and have some fun with these things, and you may want to do the same thing. And it doesn't always have to be screen accurate. Like, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. So have some fun with your figures, guys. Let's do another one. All right, guys, here we are with another pose. I've got Mando rescuing the child, a little less sinister than him sitting in the Emperor's throne. This is actually not a very difficult one. You want to be mindful of the rifle on the back. You have these tiny little magnets, and I can tell you that mine, the magnets that go through that little strap, they come unglued very easily, so don't be freaked out if yours come unglued. You just got to glue them back on there. Make sure you glue it the right polarity. Don't test it first and then glue it. And it is what it is. That's Hot Toys glue for you. But there's the child looking awesome. So I know a lot of people are excited about getting this version, so they can have the two versions of the child, and whether you got the deluxe or the regular, both versions are pretty cool. This one is the deluxe, so I've got both. And it looks pretty cool, right? We've got Mando kind of looking down the barrel of that pistol blaster. His eyes are looking, his helmet is looking down that sight to make sure he hits his target. He's got the backpack up there. And as far as the feet go, I've got him fairly widespread on that. Pretty good weight on his front foot, actually. He's kind of pushing off that back foot. And I think it looks pretty good. Now, I could have added some more motion to the cape, but I wanted to keep this simple for you guys and, just make it easy. But I think this is a pretty cool looking pose. Hope you guys are liking these so far. Let me know which pose you like so far the best in the comment section down below. And I will put chapter markers on the video so you can come back and reference these and not have to figure out which pose is where. I'll put that in the video as well to help you guys out. But pretty stoked about this one. I think we're going to do one more, and then we'll see what we end up with at the end. All right, guys, you know the scene, end of season 2 of Mandalorian. Luke comes in, saves the day, and we have this meetup between his new Padawan. Why is new? I don't know, Padawan? Youngling? Not really. Youngling. And he's going to, kind of pass the baton from Mando to Luke. And it was super sad, and it was exciting, and it was cool. And it was like, what the heck's going to happen in season 3? But this is a simple pose as you could possibly want to get, guys. If you happen to have Luke, and you have your Mando, and you have a Grogu, you could absolutely do something like this. I thought it'd be cool to have Luke literally covered up. I have nothing showing except for his face. He's covered up with his Jedi robe, like every bit of it. I do hope to get a black robe in the near future. But for right now, I have the one that came with Jedi Luke. And I think it looks pretty good. So if you're wondering how I did this, Grogu is literally sitting on top of Mando's left arm, his forearm, and then he's literally just, you know, kind of wrapped around with the right arm. And I think it looks pretty cool. So I haven't decided exactly how I'm going to land on the display, because every time I do these videos, my display gets utterly destroyed when I break out, you know, 8 figures or whatever it is. And it gets destroyed, so I have to repost everything, which is a fun way to keep your collection fresh. And there we go. So I did put the Emperor, you can't see him, but I did put the Emperor back on the throne up there. So he is back in charge. And so yeah, balance is restored in the Empire. But there's these two. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know down below. Let me know what your favorite pose is. And let me know if you are excited to get your deluxe Beskar Mandalorian. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as always, collect what you like. Join the Facebook group if you haven't already. Like 800 people have joined it in the past week. It's ridiculous. So link down below for that. And we'll see you next time.